One of the states in India that I've always wanted to visit was Rajasthan, and in January of 2023, I finally got to visit Jaipur, the Pink City, and Udaipur, the City of Lakes. Once I landed in Jaipur, I had severely underestimated the temperature there. It was freezing cold, and I just went in with one layer of clothing, assuming it would be Bangalore's temperature. The food was great, but day one we had to hurry and head to the Albert Hall Museum, which is in the heart of city of Jaipur. Albert Hall Museum is one of the oldest museums in Rajasthan, and the structure and the artifacts in the museum are amazing. We headed to the Birla Mandir temple. After that, we had to hurry and leave to the Chowki Dhani. Chowki Dhani is sort of an art experience in Rajasthan and one of my favorite parts of my moments in Rajasthan. So you would be welcome with this sort of Rajasthani drink, and once you enter there, you see that you sort of experience Rajasthan in its true authentic self. The fact that there are a lot of dances and performances that are going around in Chowki Dhani by these incredible dancers who also invite you to dance with them on stage. There's horse riding that is there, and there is camel riding that you can have. There's elephant riding, and at the same time there's a viewpoint at Chowki Dhani. There's a lot of games that you can play with your family as well, and we had an incredible time till around 8 p.m. That's when it sort of starts to get colder. You can shop there and also use the artisans that work there, and you get this incredible dinner which is served at Chowki Dhani, and they make sure that you're fed incredibly well. Day 2 in Jaipur. This was a pretty hectic day because we had just one day left at Jaipur and we had to cover a lot. So starting with, we went around the city and we saw Hawa Mahal on the go. We did not stop at Hawa Mahal to stop and take some pictures, but we did cross it once in the morning and once in the evening while returning back. So then we headed to Amer Fort. Amer Fort is truly one of the most incredible forts in Rajasthan. So Amer Fort is also called as Amber Fort, and it's in the city of Amer. And it's a little bit in the outskirts of the city, so you'll have to travel for around 10-20 minutes if you're living inside the city. And once you reach there, you'll have to walk for 5 to 10 minutes to enter the fort. And you'll be greeted by these musicians who are sitting near the fort entrance, and there's a lot of shopping as well that you can do around the entrance of Amer Fort. The structure is again very beautiful. On our way back to the city for lunch, we saw Jal Mahal at a distance. Again, there's a lot of shopping that you can do in and around Jal Mahal because it's a beautiful place. It's pretty quiet in the mornings, late mornings, I'd say around afternoon. I think it'll get rushed in the evening again. This is us heading again to another fort which is called Naharghar Fort, and it's a little bit at the top of the city, which means you'll have to travel again for around 20 or 30 minutes from the city center of Jaipur, and you get the incredible view of entire city of Jaipur. I'm saying incredible a lot, but it's okay. Next, we went to the City Palace in Jaipur, which is a beautiful place, and we went there near sunset time, so the palace was looking even more prettier, and by the time we were leaving, this palace was sort of lit up with lights, and that's a beautiful watch, I'd say. So go there around sunset before you shop in the city. So day 3 for us was sort of a road trip from Jaipur to Udaipur. We wanted to go to the two cities through a tempo. We were traveling in a tempo with 10 of us, so we could not sort of go in a train because we booked in the last minute, and we wanted to go through Pushkar, visit the Pushkar city. Now on the way, the view is amazing, and you sort of get to see the Aravalli range is what we were told, and sort of like a trailer of the sand dunes that's there in Rajasthan. Then you'd have to go to Jaisalmer, but then we reached the Brahma temple at Pushkar, and from there to go to the Pushkarni or the Pushkar lake, you see a lot of shopping that is there, and I think shopping at Pushkar is also cheaper, but it's a place of worship for the people there at Pushkar, so you wouldn't want to disturb them a lot. From there, we headed again to Udaipur, and it was a long day of traveling. I wouldn't recommend that you take the road while going, but hey, the sunset makes it worth it, I guess. So we reached Udaipur in the night, and this is the next day morning at Udaipur. Udaipur is again another beautiful city of lakes. There's a lot of wall art that we saw in Udaipur, and it was so pretty that you could just stare outside for a very long time. Now, after some time traveling for another 10 or 15 minutes from the hotel, we reached the city palace of Udaipur, which is again an amazing, and it looks amazing. I think we went there early morning, so the different parts of the palace was lit up in different shades of sun, I'd say, because the palace is mostly white in color, so it looks amazing. You definitely have an entry fees for all of them, and if you're a student, you get it as sort of a subsidized fees, so that is nice. From there we took the boat. So the best part of Udaipur was this boat riding at Lake Pichola, and it's right behind City Palace, and they'll take you to a boat ride to the Mandir Palace. And at Mandir Palace there is the beautiful garden that you can walk around in the afternoon, and from there are again boat rides that will take you back to the City Palace. So I think the gardens and the boat ride made it for a perfect afternoon, and the view from there was something to remember for a lifetime. So the Udaipur ropeway is called Mansapurna Karni Mata ropeway. So the ropeway takes you from the city of Udaipur to the top to the temple, where you can do your darshan, and beyond which you'll be able to see the beautiful city of Udaipur from the top. So we went there right around sunset time, so it was a perfect time to visit, where you'd see sort of the sun setting down on the city, and you have the golden hour. You can see the entire Lake Pichola as well, and the other lakes which are in and around the city, and it's a beautiful view when you're watching the sunset. So once the sun set, we took the ropeway back down into the city, and that was it for our day in Udaipur. It was a pretty short and tight trip, but I'd say the views and whatever we saw was definitely worth it. I think even though it was a shorter trip to Jaipur and Udaipur, it's a pretty good fitted time, because we were able to shop, we were able to see whatever we had to see. I'd definitely extend the stay in Udaipur, because there are a lot more palaces to see and the lakes to visit. But for whatever we visited, it was definitely worth it. And I'm so glad that I got to go there this January. And I hope you'll go there too. Bye.